and 17. A. Describe what happened when Paul addressed the Sanhedrin. When Paul began his defense before the Sanhedrin, he declared that he had a perfectly clear conscience before God. The high priest Ananias reacted angrily and ordered that Paul be struck on the mouth. This showed the deep prejudice in the court even before any evidence was heard. In response, Paul denounced the unjust action by calling Ananias a whitewashed wall, pointing out the hypocrisy of judging him according to the law while violating it by having him struck. 16 and 17. B. When he was struck, how did Paul set an example of humility? After being rebuked for speaking out against the high priest, Paul immediately acknowledged that he had not realized whom he was addressing. He then quoted the scriptural principle, "You must not speak injuriously of a ruler of your people." By recognizing his mistake and showing respect for God's law, Paul demonstrated humility and a willingness to correct himself, thus setting a fine example for Christians. 18. Why did Paul call himself a Pharisee? And how might we use similar reasoning in certain circumstances? Paul called himself a Pharisee because, as he said, he was a son of Pharisees, meaning his family belonged to that sect, and he was viewed as one of them. While Paul did not agree with every Pharisaic teaching, particularly their belief in an immortal soul, he did share their hope in the resurrection of the dead. In doing so, he highlighted a point of common ground, belief in a resurrection, to defend himself against the Sadducees' denial of any future life. Similarly, when talking with those who hold differing religious beliefs, for example Catholics or Protestants, we can look for scriptural truths we share in common, such as belief in God's existence. Even though we may differ on other points, such as the nature of God, we can start by emphasizing the shared belief and then tactfully introduce what the Bible really teaches on the subject. This approach can help us build bridges and maintain a respectful, constructive conversation. 19. Why did the meeting of the Sanhedrin break up in disorder? The meeting of the Sanhedrin broke up in disorder because Paul's mention of the resurrection and the possibility of an angelic message intensified the already existing tension between the Pharisees and the Sadducees. The Pharisees believed in angels and the resurrection, so they defended Paul, saying they found nothing wrong in him. The Sadducees, who did not believe in angels or a resurrection, reacted strongly against such an idea. This caused a great uproar, forcing the Roman military commander to intervene and rescue Paul once again. Let's analyze the box: the Sadducees and the Pharisees. Question: what were the main differences between the Sadducees and the Pharisees regarding their view of the law and traditional observances? Answer: according to the historian Flavius Josephus, the Sadducees recognized only the law of Moses as obligatory, while the Pharisees sought to impose numerous additional traditions and observances on the people. These rival schools of thought both opposed Jesus, but they differed significantly in how strictly they adhered to extra-biblical regulations. Next question: how did each sect's beliefs and social ties affect their influence among the Jewish people? Answer: the Sadducees, who were conservative and closely linked to the priesthood, had support from wealthy or influential individuals, such as the high priests Annas and Caiaphas, but their teachings generally did not resonate with the masses. The Pharisees, on the other hand, had broad popular influence despite making the law burdensome through their insistence on extreme ceremonial purity. They also believed in the existence of angels, and that the soul survived death, contrasting sharply with the Sadducees' denial of these doctrines.